In today's video, we are going to create a playful animation. We will use an illustrated portrait in Adobe Photoshop's timeline. You can see here that I have illustrated Grace Kelly. I created this as a post on my Instagram page. One benefit of adding even subtle motion when displaying your work online or social media is that it can really increase engagement and create more of a story from just a purely static image. We will start with a portrait that you've already created, and you will only need two versions of the same illustration. To get the movement, we will need to create very subtle changes in the person's facial expression. You can see close up the two different faces. The image on the left is the more serious, stoic Grace, and on the right is the more cheeky, smiling version of her. Not only did I change the lips from pursed to smiling, but a subtle movement in the eyes looking left to straight on makes the motion more noticeable. You could also do an eyebrow raise or blinking eyes. Any subtle change in the features will work for the animation. Next, you will take the two images into Photoshop and make sure the file is in RGB, as this will be for online use. You will then go up to Window, Timeline, and choose the more simple frame-by-frame timeline because we only have these two images. Hit the plus button to duplicate the first frame. Then click on the first frame and click the eye visibility icon on the smiling Grace so it turns off just on that frame. Then choose the second frame and click off the eye visibility on the serious Grace image. This way, each image has its own frame. Next, you can click on the little drop-down icon on frame 1, and this will set the transition speed. Let's make the first frame swap out after 0.2 seconds. Then on frame 2, we will set it to 5 seconds, so it holds a little longer. Then you want to go down and select how often you want the animation to repeat. I will select forever for this one, but 3 would also work. I think 1 time would probably be too short as this is less than a 5-second animation. Then go up to Export, Save for Web, and make sure it is set to GIF. Since this is on a white background, we don't need to set the transparency. And then again, let's set the loop on forever. And that's it. You can save out the image as a GIF. This will work in an email or on a website, but if you want to post to Instagram, you will need to make a few adjustments. So let's go back and we'll render it as an MP4 video. This is the file type that Instagram will accept. Now, when you save for Instagram, you need to make sure the width is 1080 pixels, so make that adjustment. You can then go up and click File, Render Video. Besides selecting the folder, there are not many other adjustments needed to create the MP4. Once you export, this is the file type you can then use to post on social media. And that's how you create a really easy animation that brings magic to your portraits. To end, I wanted to leave you with a fun fact about Grace Kelly. For her 40th birthday party, she threw a lavish astrological themed celebration. Because Grace has a stellium of planets in the sign of Scorpio, which is very fitting, by the way, for a woman who starred in numerous thriller movies by Alfred Hitchcock, she wanted a party called the Scorpion Ball. It was exclusively only for Scorpio signs or spouses of Scorpios. 60 guests attended in total, including Elizabeth Taylor. They were required to wear red and black and served an enormous Scorpio-shaped cake. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and happy creating!